If you're an agency operating in the voice space and you're building your voice agents on the Trillet platform, the next question you probably have is, how do I create the space for my clients, and how do I deploy the agent to that workspace? That's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video, so let's get right to it. I'm going to use one of these demos that I've created. Let's just grab this one right here in the middle, strictly cleaning. And we're going to deploy this into a new agent workspace, or into a new client workspace. So there's a couple things we're going to do in this video. One, we're going to create the workspace. Two, we're going to add the agent to that workspace. Three, we're going to set the per minute billing rate for that workspace. Four, we're going to invite the client to that said workspace. And then five, we will send out invoices to the client in that specific workspace. So let's get started. On the left-hand side, you can click on your workspace. The drop-down shows all of the workspaces you've created, but we have a new client here, so we're going to add the workspace. Name it whatever you want. Put your client's name, your client's business name, doesn't really matter, as long as you know what it is, and that's what it would be called. So right now, we're just going to call it Demo 5. We're going to add this workspace, and now it's created a new workspace, Demo 5, and as you can see, I am the only owner at the time. Right? So we're going to click this again, and we're going to go back to the main workspace, and I'm going to pull up the call flow. And we said we're going to use strictly cleaning. So I'm going to use these three dots here. You see each one has those three dots. And there we have the option to duplicate this agent. Now, coming very soon, we'll have the option to just move the agent, so you won't have duplicate agents within your folder and the client's folder. But for right now, you duplicate it, and you want to go find that workspace that we just created. If you have a long list of workspaces, you can use the search function here. So we're going to click on Demo 5 and click Duplicate. So now, when we go back to Demo 5 a little bit later, we will see this agent inside the workspace. Now, before we go back there, let's go here to Agency Settings. We see Demo 5 is here, and we're going to go to the Setup page. There's a couple things you want to take a look at here on this setup page. All right, on settings, one, you can set up the white label for that page, or that workspace. I'm not going to go in depth here. That's not necessarily what we're doing, but you can update the logo, the favicon color, all of those things. That's what shows up when the client logs into that particular workspace. Well, what's very important is how we're billing that client. So under Stripe settings, you can come hit the edit button. We're going to use custom Stripe for this workspace, and we're going to set the per minute rate. Trillet's charging you 9 cents a minute. You can set it whatever you have negotiated with your client. So for example purposes, we're going to do 45 cents per minute. We're going to save that. And now I have my agent, or I've built the workspace. I have my agent over there. I have my per minute billing set. And now I'm going to go over to that workspace, Demo 5, and I'm going to add or invite the client to that workspace. Hit the settings button, come up to team members, and under team members, currently I am the only team member when it shows here. Now I'm going to invite a member, click add member. You literally just put their email address there, select a specific role, or you want to add other members for their team. You can put that there. I'm not going to actually do that. It's pretty self-explanatory. The user will receive an email with a link to set up their profile for this workspace. If you have other team members and you need to review the roles and permissions, here's some default ones. But if you don't like those, you can add a new role and pick what features and functions that role has access to, and then assign a user to it once you have the user in the platform. Very simple, very simple. So now the next thing we need to do, again, we've created the workspace, we've moved the agent to the workspace, set the per billing rate, invited the client. The last thing we need to do is send an invoice. So we're going to go back to our main workspace. In our main workspaces, we're going to come down here on the left-hand side to invoices, click invoices, and then I'm going to click create invoice. Now, there's two types of invoices you can create. One time, so if you have a setup fee or something like that, you can use that, or a recurring invoice. This is where you put your maintenance fees, your monthly invoice that you're going to send, you charge your client for this particular agent. They both look very similar. The difference obviously is one is recurring and one is one time. So in the one-time invoice, for example, we would go and find the workspace, demo 5, and then we would select the recipient. Again, we didn't actually create one, but my name is still there, right? So once you create or invite that client to that workspace, they will show up there as well. Click a due date, put a title to this and a description, and put your unit price. Let's say it's $1,500 or whatever the situation is for your setup. You can also add other line items to this one-time invoice. And you also have the option to add money to the customer wallet. I'll talk about that more in the recurring, because it really makes more sense on the recurring side if you're going to use that function. So on a recurring invoice, again, it looks very similar. I just want to make sure I cover both just in case anybody had any questions. Fill out your line items. So let's say we're going to call this the monthly subscription. Oops. Monthly subscription, and we're going to call it maintenance fees. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Put a price here. Let's say we're going to charge $300 a month for that. You can put some other information here. And when you use this button here, this allows you to add, like some people might want to, part of the monthly fee is allow the customer to have so many minutes included in that. That's why you would use this button here versus having a monthly fee and then having your client top up on their per minute fee separately. So it's your choice, but that's what that button is for. Then we can, let's see, am I missing something here? I don't have recipient. Let me select a recipient for example purposes, and now I can click next. What day does it start? What's the frequency? And leave it blank if you want to continue to bill until your client cancels, or if you have a particular set contract time, you might want to put an end date here. Then you can click create invoice, and now that invoice is here. You can see that invoice here, demo 5, monthly subscription, $300. It's in draft status, and now we're going to actually send that invoice. Did I click the button? Yep, I did. Invoice sent. Now we've done all the things we need to do to add the client to the workspace and bill the client appropriately. So if we come back over here to demo 5, we're going to see our agent in here. Here's the agent. And we go down to the billing section. We're going to see a couple things. Here's that recurring invoice that we created, right? And so the user can come in and click pay now. And here's that per minute rate right here that we've set earlier. So now your client is fully set up, your agent has been deployed, and things can start to work smoothly. Now, remember we talked about that wallet button on the invoice that allows you to add minutes to your client's balance, or monies, I should say, to their wallet balance for their per minute fees within the invoice. The other option is to allow do not click that button and allow your clients to come here and add funds directly to their wallet specifically for their per minute separate from the invoice. So I hope that gives you clarity on how to set your clients up on their own workspace and deploy their agents. If you have any more questions regarding this, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure I take care of them. Talk to you soon.